They cut me off like I never existed. 10 years of silence, no calls, no invites, not even a birthday message. And then one evening, they showed up at my doorstep, smiling, pretending nothing had happened. What they didn't know was that I had been waiting for this moment, not for revenge, for closure. And when I revealed what I had built, and the secret they never expected, I watched the truth crack their perfect image wide open. Have you ever been erased by the people who were supposed to have your back? Welcome to Quick Stories Reddit, where real voices reclaim their truth. 10 years ago, I sat outside my childhood home on the front steps, staring through the window as my family laughed without me. There was a reunion dinner going on, and I hadn't even been invited. I didn't commit a crime. I didn't hurt anyone. I just didn't match the image they wanted. My older brother, Leo, was climbing the ladder in corporate law. My younger sister, Alina, was the pride of the family, already shadowing surgeons as a med student. And me? I became a woodworker, a craftsman. I loved the scent of pine, the hum of a blade, the feeling of shaping raw timber into something beautiful. But to them, I was just the one they never talked about. It started with small slights, forgotten invites, backhanded remarks, missed birthdays. Then, one year, they had the family reunion without even telling me. I only found out when a cousin tagged me in a group photo on Facebook. When I called my mom to ask, she just sighed. "We didn't think you'd feel comfortable," she said. Comfortable? I was their blood. But suddenly, I was the outsider. I tried telling myself it wasn't personal. Maybe I was different. But the exclusion continued, year after year. Events I never heard about, group chats I wasn't in, even weddings I didn't know were happening. Eventually, I stopped reaching out. They didn't notice. I packed up and moved 2 hours away to a quiet town where nobody knew my past. I started small, doing custom carpentry work. Word spread. People liked what I made. It took years, but I built something real. Then came the turning point. A boutique hotel owner asked me to design custom interiors for all their rooms. From there, everything changed. My work was featured in a regional magazine. I was interviewed on a local lifestyle show. Within 3 years, I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. I bought a patch of land and built my dream house. Every tile, every arch, every nail was mine. I didn't call my family once during those years. Not because of hate, but because I had nothing left to say. Still, I saw them online, liking my business posts, leaving comments like, "So proud of you," like it erased everything they had done. I said nothing. Then, 2 months before Christmas, a message came from Leo. "Hey, Mom was wondering if you'd be willing to host the family reunion this year. Your place looks incredible." I stared at that message like it was a joke. After a decade of silence, they wanted to gather under my roof. Not a single apology. Not a single conversation about the past. Just a favor. I didn't reply. But I did start planning. On Christmas Eve, I lit the massive cedar tree I'd built myself. I baked the honey rolls my grandmother used to make. I set the table with vintage plates I'd restored by hand. I invited exactly one guest, Mr. Elliot, my grandfather's lifelong friend. He was the only one who had stayed in touch, the only one who saw me as family when my own didn't. We ate, we laughed. Then came a knock. I opened the door, and there they were, my parents, Leo, Alina, their spouses, and half the extended family, grinning with a store-bought pie. Alina stepped forward. "Your home is stunning." Leo gave a low whistle. "Didn't know carpentry paid this well." My mother looked around, clearly trying to process it all. "You've done so well, sweetheart. We were thinking we could all spend the night here, like old times." But there were no old times. Not for me. I didn't flinch. "You don't get to stay," I said, calm but firm. My mother blinked. "What? You shut me out for 10 years. Not one call. Not one message. I needed you. And you turned your backs. Now you see what I've built, and suddenly I matter again?" My father cleared his throat. "Let's not get into the past. Tonight's about family." "No," I said. "Tonight's for those who never left." Their faces turned pale. Leo looked like he wanted to say something, but no words came. Alina dropped her gaze. My father stood still, shame written across his face. You didn't cut me out because of what I chose to do, I said. You cut me out because I didn't fit your mold. And now, it's too late. I closed the door, not with rage, but with finality. Inside, Mr. Elliot raised his glass. To the family we choose. I raised mine. And the homes we build with our own hands. That silence after the door closed, it wasn't loneliness. It was peace. For the first time in years, I had nothing left to prove. I hadn't yelled, I hadn't shamed anyone. I just told the truth. But my family didn't take it well. The next day, my phone exploded. Calls, voicemails, texts. My mother left a message, her voice shaking. You don't slam the door on your own family. That's not how this works. Then came the guilt trip. Alina sent a long paragraph about forgiveness. Leo messaged, You always took everything too personally. That's why it was easier not to invite you. Easier for them. They weren't trying to reconnect. They wanted a shortcut to redemption, to appear close now that I had something they could show off. They didn't want me. They wanted the image, and I wasn't going to play that game. Then Alina posted a cryptic Facebook status. When family rejects you after you try to make peace, it hurts more than words can say. Cue the flood of sympathy from friends who had no clue what really happened. I ignored it, until my aunt messaged me privately. I saw what Alina posted. I don't know all the details, but I want you to know, you were right to say what you said. That hit harder than I expected. For a moment, I doubted myself. Was I becoming what I hated? But then I remembered all the birthdays I spent alone, all the silence, all the years they erased me. I wasn't bitter. I was just done carrying weight that never belonged to me. Instead of replying, I kept building the life I'd made from the ground up. My business was booming. My name was known in the community. Not because I chased recognition, but because I put care into everything I built. I started mentoring teens who had been told they'd never amount to anything. I saw younger versions of myself in them. Quiet, overlooked, underestimated. They became my new family, the real kind. Meanwhile, my old family spiraled. Alina posted another vague jab online. Leo sent a long email painting himself as the misunderstood peacemaker. My mother mailed me a Christmas card. Inside was a handwritten note. Come home when you're ready to be part of the family again. But I was home. I had built it. Then came something unexpected. A knock at the door, this time from someone I hadn't seen in 15 years. My cousin Mara. She looked older, tired, but honest. I was there, she said quietly. I saw what they did to you. I stayed silent. I shouldn't have. We talked for hours. She told me how she'd tried to speak up once but got shut down. They said it was your choice to isolate yourself, and I believed them, until I didn't. She looked at me with tears in her eyes. You weren't imagining it. You were wronged, and I'm sorry I didn't say something sooner. That moment didn't fix everything, but it mattered. It reminded me I wasn't alone. Months passed. I kept growing. Personally, professionally. I wasn't proving anything anymore. I was just living life on my terms. Then one spring afternoon, an envelope arrived. Legal. Formal. Inside was a letter from my father's attorney. He had passed away. They hadn't even told me he was sick. The letter included something he left behind. Not money, not land. A journal. His. Bound in worn leather. His name was inside the cover. Below it, a date. October 2008. The year things began to fracture. As I flipped through the pages, I realized this wasn't a diary. It was a confession. He wrote about the pressure to keep up appearances, the shame of having a son who took a different path, the fear of what others might say. I didn't know how to stand up for you, one page read. So I didn't. And every time I stayed silent, I lost a piece of you and of myself. His words were filled with sorrow, regret, and cowardice. He chose the family image over his own son, and he took that regret to the grave. Remember, this family isn't who shares your blood. It's who shows up, stays real, and never makes you earn their love. Don't be afraid to build your own circle. Sometimes the peace you find after closing a door is the start of everything real. If this story hit something deep, if you've ever felt like the outsider in your own family, drop a comment and share your truth. You're not alone. Hit like if this spoke to you and subscribe for more real stories that don't sugarcoat the hard stuff, but honor the strength it takes to heal. This isn't just a channel. It's a space for people rebuilding, one honest moment at a time.